Hello and welcome to another episode of UpGrade with Maria Kay, the podcast where your success, freedom and happiness get a weekly boost. And it's so cool to have you here. I know that your life is busy, so it is really a true honor to me that you've taken this short time out of your day to hang out and also tend to your upgrade, to ensure that you're not leaving anything to chance anymore, to ensure that you are co-creating the life that you truly desire and deserve. I help people all over the world create the success, freedom and happiness in their lives, and I'd love to do the same for you. So stick around, and also if you haven't already done so, jump over to the Facebook group, Upgrade with Maria Kay, join us there and share your journey so far. If you've been following the podcast for a while now, let us know how you're getting on. If you're new, again, say hi. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to connect with you and also answer any of your questions. Perhaps you've got some questions, some queries, or perhaps you may have some suggestions or requests for podcast topics in the future. Whatever it is, I really look forward to connecting with you. Now, have you ever got to a point in your life and thought, yeah, I really know who I am now. And I like who I am. And I know where I'm going and I know what I want. Has that ever happened to you? Well, it's happened to me many, many times, as if we've been sort of climbing a mountain, a little bit lost, not sure which direction to go to, found that kind of resting point, clambered up there, sat down and said sort of, yeah, this is it. I know where I am now. Really happy and I want to stay here. But then something happens in life. A change is perhaps forced upon you, perhaps an illness, perhaps a breakdown of a relationship, a financial crisis, maybe the loss of a job, something big or something even small, like a friendship breakdown or a house move. And then you start to question who you are. You start to actually see yourself in a different light, understand that you want different things to the things that you stated 10 years ago that you wanted. Another question. Do you remember being asked around the age of 14, 15 or 16, what do you want to be when you grow up? And when you think about that question on a bit more of an analytical level, that question really means, what do you want to do every single day for the rest of your life, or for at least the foreseeable next 30 or so years? You see, it's kind of expected of us to pick a thing, pick a route, make a decision, pick who you want to be. And even when you're on such a journey, a spiritual journey, a personal development journey, a journey of self-improvement, or an upgrade journey, it's kind of expected, isn't it? How much do you want to earn? How do you want to earn that money? Where do you want to live? How do you want to spend your days? What's important to you? What are your non-negotiables? These are all questions that we ask. And in fact, that's usually how I start working with new clients. Now, let me just pop in there as a side note. Getting clear on who you are and what you want is only ever possible in the present moment. So it's not wrong to state what you want. It's not wrong, in my opinion, to put it down on paper or make a decision as to what course you want to do, or what route you want to do, what route you want to go down rather, or what job you want to do, or what kind of house you want to live in that moment. Or even the goals that you want to set, your financial goals, your health goals. It's really powerful and useful to gain clarity. In fact, I always say it's one of our biggest power tools on this journey. When you're clear, then you can take the necessary steps. When you don't know, then there's a big void. There's a big gap. When you don't know which direction to go in either. But today I want to give you a formula that will enhance both the power of making those clear decisions and sticking with them, and the power also of taking stock, slowing down, allowing for the truth to really come to the surface and be revealed to you as regularly as every day. Now, as always, I love to give you practical, applicable tips, tools, and strategies that you can utilize really simply, effortlessly, and easily in your daily life. Because you can have all the theories in the world, all the ideas and all the sharings in the world, but unless you can actually apply them to your life, I believe they're pretty useless. So today, the practical tip and tool that I'm going to give you is a simple equation, actually. And it goes like this: stillness plus action equals upgrade. Now, I'll say that again. Stillness plus action equals upgrade. Now, the fact that you're here listening to this podcast indicates to me that you want to upgrade your life, that there's some area of your life that you're not entirely happy with, and you want to take it from where it is now to a more improved state, an enhanced state. Now, that's brilliant. For me, that indicates that you're already in some kind of connection with the natural flow of life. Because life, as I said, and I've said many times before, is ever evolving, as are you. You never stay quite the same. If you look back at photographs from 10 years ago, you may or may not have the same hairstyle, but I can guarantee you're not wearing the same style of clothes. You've evolved, you've moved on. You've been there and done that with the shell suit, tracksuit and the bell-bottom trousers and the platform shoes, whatever style you recall that you loved at a certain point in your life. You've moved on, you're not there anymore, as well as the inner workings of who you are moving on. But that's just a really blatant example. We never stay the same. So the fact that you're here seeking assistance and guidance to elevate you to the next level of your life shows me that you're already kind of in this flow. So I think, and I'm pretty sure, in fact, that this is going to be a really easy and effortless subject for you. Now, I've talked about the difference between guidance coming from our ego mind and coming from our intuitive heart space. There's a big difference. So I just want to flag this up before I move any further. Because what I don't want to encourage you to do, or what I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm encouraging you to do, is to become this choppy, changey, all over the place kind of character that can't decipher where the guidance is coming from. Your ego will have you running round in circles. Your ego will have you stuck for years and years and years. Your ego will have you locked in drama and chaos until the cows come home. So, the first element of stillness is, as we sit in our stillness, as we sit in our meditation, or lay, whatever you prefer, is to ensure that when we do connect in and become aligned, is that we're aligning with that pure energy, that guidance that's coming in from that pure place, that's coming from a place of love and trust, expansion, and not fear, negativity, and restrictedness. Now, how can you tell the difference? You're going to have to jump in, my friends, and practice. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. And I'm not going to say practice makes perfect, because I don't believe in perfection. Not the way that it's generally looked upon. So we've mentioned that we're shifting a paradigm that has been around for many years. The paradigm that you're supposed to know who you are and what you want. And once you've decided, you've got to stick to it. Now, this month, the month of June, I am leading my private VIP clients through a month of taking stock, being still enough to hear the messages and feel the nudges, and gain as deeper clarity and as a higher knowing as is possible with regards to their personal journeys. Now, my clients work with me for all different reasons. Personal, professional, creating businesses, enhancing their relationships, improving their health and wellness, their lifestyle, pretty much across the board, improving their finances, and a lot of the areas intertwine as well and mesh, which is beautiful, because as you see them improving one area of their life, you see another 2 or 3 areas skyrocket as well at the same time. Because as you raise the vibration of that person, even though they are requesting, say, for example, an improved relationship with their partner, their career has no choice but to also improve and enhance and upgrade. Their finances have no choice but to also improve, upgrade, and enhance. It's how it goes. So I'm hoping that the same is happening for you. It certainly has happened for me over the years. I went through a phase of really troubled relationships, really sort of unhealthy, catastrophic, traumatic, you name it. I went through a phase of really difficult financial times, not even wanting to touch on it now, because the energy, just bringing the energy back doesn't make me feel very nice. You name it. I do talk about them all in depth in previous podcasts. So if you haven't already been following the series, then go back and have a listen, and you'll hear more about me sharing things like that about my life. But as I have upgraded these areas individually, it's almost like they've sort of thrown down a rope, a lifeline, and to the other areas of my life, and sort of shouted with, hands cupped around mouth, "Come on, grab on, let's do this. We're all in this together." And it really has been a profound time of focusing on one area, glancing over to the other area, and noticing, wow, effortlessly, that has enhanced too. So this is what happens to my clients. And this month we're focusing on taking stock, really having a look at their ascension plans. What is it that they wanted to achieve in the 12 months that they work with me, or more for some of them, and where have they got to? And in that sort of state of analysis, in that state of taking stock, also looking at where can they take action? How can they bring in real 3D-ness? Not a word, but I've just made it up. 3D-ness. And what I mean by that is really sort of getting stuck in, putting their hands in the mud and getting them dirty, rather than just sitting cross-legged in their meditation position, thinking about things, planning things, strategizing, thinking, okay, well, this is what I want, and I'm waiting around for the universe to send it to me, and it'll all be fine, and I am a conscious co-creator of my life, and just taking let's say the inner, right? The inner, so the meditation and the intuition and the messages and the inner shiftings of the journey, and coupling them with the outer, the external, the action, the experiences, the co-creations, the intertwinements with other people who are there to be our teachers. So stillness plus action equals upgrade. And when we can find that amazing balance of jumping into life, going out and living with gusto, just as you would eat a delicious meal and enjoy it, even maybe the parts that you wouldn't actually choose, especially for children, it may be the vegetables, but tucking in anyway, giving it your best shot, knowing that it's all on your plate for a reason. It's all appeared right in front of you because it's going to transport you not only forwards in your upgrade journey, but inwards on your journey of deeper understanding. So to answer the question, who are you and what do you want? The most valuable way to really understand that and take that on board is to start applying that equation to your life. And it's important that we know as regularly as we can who we are and what we want, so that we can easily, rapidly, and effortlessly course correct. As I said, this month for my VIP clients, it's all about doing that. It's all about, okay, well, we made an ascension plan. We've been following it for a while, but now, as I actually check in with it, point number 3 in section B, for example, maybe that needs a little bit of tweaking, because last month I jumped in and I liaised with the kind of people that I had planned to. Last month I embarked on that element of the project, or I went and got that new job in that new department, or that upgrade, or that promotion. And now that I've actually experienced that, I realize it isn't what I want. But the only way I could ever have known that is by actually experiencing it. So coming back to when we're asked at that tender age of 14, 15, 16, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? The only way we can answer accurately is if we answer for today, for now. So this is why I'm encouraging my children to find what they're passionate about. Find what's right for them today, for now, and jump in to it. Jump into that pool, swim around, get wet, get dirty, and then make the decisions. And that may mean that it's not always perfect. It may mean that life doesn't always look perfect from the outside, right? But as we sort of strip away those labels, as we strip away the need for things to look a certain way, what we are then opening up the space for is for the experiences that are perfect for us, rather than the results. The experiences, the lessons, the assignments, the undoing of beliefs that aren't serving us, or the rewiring of a mindset that isn't helpful to us. And only then can we really focus entirely and accurately on moving forward. Because as we move forward without accurate clarity, rather than the clarity that our ego mind gives us, accurate clarity comes from your heart space, from your intuition, from that inner knowing, that sacred relationship that you have with the universe. Accurate knowing, accurate clarity is basically the Ferrari of your journey. It's like, or if you've got a favorite car or vehicle, right? It's like jumping in, stepping in, and taking the rest of your journey in luxury, surrounded with what you need. Because what you need will show up if it's authentic and congruent in that moment. But until you know what that is, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Now, more often than not, let me say, we operate from our subconscious, which can be good because we can be creating by default, right? But it can also hinder, slow us down, block us, because subconsciously we may be locked into the fears that come up around a certain desire. So when we raise our level of awareness, we can then state with conviction exactly what we want and exactly who we are. But the best, quickest way to do that is to jump in, get dirty, have the experiences that are going to help you to get that clarity. Now, I recently spent some time in Spain touring, and to kick off, we booked into an amazing 5-star resort and was really excited to be there, because in my experience, what I knew of myself was that I love 5-star resorts. I love the luxury. I love the ease of everything. I love having everything in one place. I love being taken care of, not having to lift a finger, so on and so forth. Once we got there, and after the initial kind of excitement and enjoyment, I started to get a real powerful download. I call them sometimes downloads, when you get, sort of information that's relatively new. Okay, I've started, so I'll finish. It's not actually new information, guys, that we get through when we're meditating or in a zone, in a connective space with the divine or the universe or a Hindu god or your angels, whatever it is you prefer. But it's not new. What it is, it's just a reminder. right? So that's why sometimes we kind of think, well, we receive the information and it feels so real and logical and wow, how could it ever not be this way? Whereas to somebody else, it might seem really far-fetched, crazy and silly, right? So I call them downloads. You can call them reminders. You can call them whatever. It really is irrelevant as to what terminology we use. But while I was there, I started to receive these really clear downloads that although this kind of place was fitting for me many, many years ago, this kind of place would be perfect for me because I'd be literally crawling towards my maybe one holiday per year where I needed to have that opportunity to flop, not do anything, and just almost zone out of life, disconnect from even who I was, as well as the crazy, chaotic life that I was leading, right? So although that was congruent at one point in my life, for that moment, it was no longer the case. And as I progressed in the time that we spent there, and yes, we really enjoyed the physical activities, the leisure activities, the tennis and the table tennis and the pools and all the different sort of sporty things that were going on there. What was lacking for me, and this is just a personal sharing, it's not necessarily going to help you make your decisions because it probably is completely different to what you're emerging as. But for me, the impersonal nature of staying in such a huge complex, I don't like the word, but I'm going to use it, falseness of, rocking up to reception and being greeted with this kind of pre-penned, really over the top welcome greeting. The thing is that because I am such a truth teller, truth liver, right? I live the truth, and anything that isn't inside of that truth, I can see straight through it, and it just doesn't sit with me anymore. So for me, being in that space started to really irritate me, right? Although we made the best of it. We saw our time there through and we made the best of it and it was lovely. But what I'm sharing the story for is to enable you to understand how if I hadn't have jumped in and, gone and stayed in that 5-star resort in Spain with other tourists who were doing what I used to do many, many years ago, believe me, I'm not knocking it. If it's right in that moment in your life, grasp hold of it, embrace it, go for it. It used to be right for me, but it's not anymore, right? So then I was equipped with the most powerful clarity possible, which then enabled me to course correct and ensure that the next leg of our tour of southern Spain took us to a place that was congruent with who we are today. And I say we, it was me and the children. Keith had already been out to, when we were staying in Catalonia and spent some time with us there. And Baki was to pursue his wonderful work of feeding wonderful people of Warwickshire and the West Midlands. So when it came to planning the next leg of our tour, what we were able to manifest, believe me, I could never have imagined it in a million years. And obviously the power of the internet enables us to really design our life to the best of our ability, co-creating with the universe. So what we manifested was this beautiful property on the top of a mountain, amazing natural environment, right? Even the building was an eco property, it was an eco house. Half the property was indoors and half of it was outdoors. We had an outdoor kitchen, right? With the views of the Mediterranean Sea and the surrounding mountains, nature, buzzing, butterflies, insects. Oh, it was just phenomenal. And I was able to really relax. I was able to really connect. And the owner of the property was this beautiful soul, Spanish guy who was the perfect host, really took care of us. We were able to meet with his friends and family and enjoy meals with them. We were able to take care of his dog while he was out, which was really fun for us because we love connecting with animals. And before this whole experience, I didn't know about that side of me. I didn't really have the clarity that was necessary for me to manifest and attract this next experience. So my sharing, my invitation, my kick up the backside for you is, if you find that you're spending a little bit too much time in taking stock mode, in the planning phase, in the inner phase of your journey, I'm encouraging you to apply this new formula that I've given you today. Stillness plus action equals upgrade, right? Because it is in those action phases, those phases of momentum, those phases of being in the experience, that you'll get that clarity that you need to carry you forward. And just want to leave you with a funny vision, a funny image that you can bring up. When you think of clarity and when you think of your journey, I want you to pick your favorite vehicle. Now, you may not love vehicles. You may love animals. So it may be a horse, or it may be even a beautiful pathway that you like to walk regularly, walking on a beach even. But whenever you think of it, think of that vehicle, whether it's on foot or a car or a jet plane or whatever it is for you. And think of traveling in the utmost luxury, with everything there for you, available for you. Whatever vehicle you choose, think of it as a first class journey, right? And allow yourself to enjoy the journey, even when it may not look pleasant from the outside. It may not feel pleasant some of the time, but if you can understand that instantly when you get that information through, that aha, that newfound clarity, that new message, if you can at least make a vow, make a promise to yourself to act on it, to absorb it, take it on board as the new you, the new truth of who you are, you'll know that the next time you get to go on that kind of journey, you'll have that newfound clarity, which means that it'll automatically be aligned with who you are. But also with regards to the bigger picture, the bigger journey that you're on, towards that heightened state of living, that upgraded life in general, you know what to ask for. You know what you're going after. At least for now, you know. Until the next wave of clarity comes, which means you can then course correct again, which means that you'll be then showing up even more as who you are today. Please, please do get in touch. Let me know how it's going for you. Let me know if this podcast episode has sparked any questions, perhaps. Or maybe it sent you into a bit of confusion. Either way, do get in touch. Let me know, and I will take great pleasure in helping you. Be still. Take action. Get clarity. And upgrade. Until next time, I'm leaving you with as much love as you